YouTube, Squint here. Today I reached into my Crown Royal bag sent to me by Frosty 901. We pulled out this lock from Leon's Lockpad. It's a little 5-pinner called Lucky One. There's the bidding on the key. I haven't picked this yet, so let's see if we can get it done. Let's try top up keyway, and we're going to use this Praxis in 15 thousandths. I put some handles on these, but I'm not sure I like them or not, so they're just the rubber coat, or the marine grade heat shrink, so, but I'm not sure I like them. It's still kind of too flimsy for my liking, and like when I pick, I kind of push in right here to feel the feedback, and yeah, I'm not sure that these handles are gonna work for what I want. Okay, my first time down a pin stack, 2 gave me a little feedback. Nothing's binding right now. Alright, touched it again. It's definitely binding. I just touched it again and it felt like it's set. Touched one and it felt like it's set again. Let's go back down here to 3. Okay, got a small turn on the core when I set 1. Okay, another click. Let me zoom you guys in. I'm sorry, I didn't zoom you guys in. Let's see if we can get this thing finished up. I feel like 3. Nothing on 2, and another. When I touch 1 again, 1 feels like it's kind of just a standard pin that falls down all the time. It doesn't give you any trouble setting it, but it's always there to set. I'm going to use this #1 hook from the Peterson. It feels like #3 is bound. It's either 2 or 3. Get it up higher with this gem. Alright, that was a couple of clicks. I think out of 3. 3 or 2. Okay, 3 gave me a slight turn on the core. Four gave me a slight turn on the core. Okay, another slight turn on the core. There's some definitely threading going on in here as I'm running my pick across the pins. It is giving me a slight like tick. Let's see. Try this hook number 1 again. Got a little bit of relief off of 2. Okay, touch 3 and it gave me another little tick. Two is giving me a slight counter. Okay, got a big click and crunch out of 3, and it turned the core a little more than it has been. I'm telling you, the feedback in this lock is so subtle. Like really, really subtle. It's not overwhelming feedback. It's definitely feather-light tension, feather-light touch on the pins. Okay, that was 2. 2 felt like a spool. It just gave me a kind of rotation. Now I think I'm caught up on 3. Another click out of 2. That might have just set that home for good. Get this gem back in there. Very little tricky lock, that's for sure, Leon. I don't know if it's maybe the lock itself, but I don't know if it's the tolerance but the feedback is very subtle, like just a little bit. Every time you touch the pin, see right there, I just touched that one, and it gave me a little bit more turn on the core. 2 is definitely some type of spool because it gives me a counter rotation. And I think I just said it again, touched 1 and it gave me a slight turn. There's another slight turn off of 4, another slight turn off of 5. So the feedback in here is, there we go, it's open. See, just light touches, man. I don't know, that was crazy. Like I reset and had to change up entirely the entire way I was picking it because it was just taking very subtle touches, very light touches on it. So that was pretty awesome. You know, you definitely can't pick this lock heavy-handed. It will overset and you will not get it done. So I had to reset that real quick and change up the way I was picking it. When I was always picking it. Alright, let's see, we gotta get a little clip here. Got that off. Let's put this beat up looking shim in there, because it's got one of those tail pieces. Come on, shim. It's got a lip on the tail piece, so I don't want to ruin any of these locks. There we go. Alright, let's see. Follower. Everything definitely needed picked. That number 5 was a potential overset trap. Same with 2. I knew number 2 was very touchy and you could overset it very easily. But you guys can see that everything in there needed picked. He's got some threading going on in here too. 1 was a standard. 2 was a nice serrated pin. 3 was a standard. 4 was a serrated pin. And 5 was a spoolish type pin. I would call that a spool myself. The rest of these were serrated. Man, those are nice, heavy, deep serrated cuts too. Very uniform. These look very good. Very, very well done, Leon. And he's got threading in 2, 3, or 2, 5, 2, 4, and 5. He's got threading in there. Very nicely done too. You could definitely feel the threading. Alright, let's see what he did up top. Come out of there, Mr. Shim. Alright, got the shim out. Number 1 was a standard. I think I felt that. There we go. 2. Oh, nice looking spool, serrated spool. That spring does not want to come out. 3 was a standard. 4 was a serrated pin. And 5 is another serrated, well, it's a spool. Nice work. See if I can get these springs out of here. Get a little tool. Come on. 2 doesn't want to come. 3 doesn't want to come. Sorry guys. 4's dead. 4's out. They look like they're all the same. That came out of there. There was 2 and 3. Yeah, they're basically all the same. Let's see if he did anything up top. It doesn't look like it. I don't see any of these holes drilled out either, so everything up top looks pretty standard. Alright, let's zoom you guys in so you can see this awesome work by Leon's Lockpad on a lock called Lucky One. I'll get this right one of these days. This dang zoom. Alright, let's see. You guys can see them all right there. Alright, this was number 1. You can see here was a standard. Both standard key pin and driver. 2, nice serrated key pin. This one almost was the overset trap. It was real easy to overset to. And you can see it's a nice spool, a serrated spool actually. So 3 was standard. 4 was very nicely serrations. This was probably close to an overset trap as well. And then up top he's got this little barbell type serrated reduced diameter. I mean, this pin's all over the place, but it worked really well. 5, he's got a spooled key pin and then a spooled driver, and that's a pretty cool driver. It's rounded on the bottom, so it's very subtle. When I was telling you guys the feedback in here was very subtle, it's just because of how he's got these rounded off. Like everything's rounded off, so it doesn't make a sharp feedback. It's got a subtle feedback on it, so you have to be very light with it because it'll slide up, and if you push it too hard, it'll overset really easy. So due to those rounded edges. All right, so you guys, I appreciate your time and I appreciate you watching. Again, that was the Lucky One from Leon's Lockpad, and I appreciate Frosty 901 sending that to me, and I appreciate appreciate Leon's Lockpad for sending it out to the community. Alright, this is Squint, and I'll be on to the next lock.